when you start to take charge of your health and well-being, it can be a wondrous thing. It really can. And it doesn't matter if you've never done it before, or if you've had good health and well-being and then lost it through whatever's happened in life. But that moment when you start to take charge of it is so deeply empowering. And it doesn't have to be massive steps. I think people often think when they look at change, they look at wanting to do something differently. I think they always think they've got to take a big step. They've got to do something. They've got to make a big investment of time, finances, energy, emotions, etc. And in my experience of my own health and well-being and working with clients for 20 years, that is never what sticks. It's never what sticks. It never sustains, because it's often too big of a leap to be able to maintain that. So I always advocate smaller changes, smaller bite-sized soundtrack from the house of the dogs. Smaller bite-sized chunks that you can build on, like building blocks. You start to make little changes, and you can do this each day, and they're manageable and they can fit in with life as it already exists. So we don't have to go and blow up our entire life to make those changes. Sometimes that's what happens, but I don't think it's necessary. If we just start to sort of chart the course a little bit differently, we start to think about, where do I really want to go? We think about the big goals, we think about and then we start to break it down. And that can be a cognitive, methodical process, if that's how your brain works. For me, that is not how my brain works at all. So mine is an intuitive process, and it would still be a step by step. And so it's learning how you work and then starting to put the changes in very gently. So I decided I wanted to get fitter again. Which some people might be like, hey, you're already fit. I had better health and fitness before COVID, as did many of us, I think. And so I thought, okay, how am I going to get there without making, doing big amounts of change and movement and dietary things that my body then rebels against because it's too much. So smaller moment by moment decisions. And for me, on the movement front, it's putting shorter workouts in when I feel like doing them, and thinking about when I eat, what am I eating and how is that sort of serving me, and not necessarily getting rid of everything. There is food for the body and food for the soul, so we want to kind of balance all of that. So it's always about making those small incremental changes that in fact, I don't even like the word change because that's like, but small incremental shifts that you can keep going and just build on and build on. And then so for example, next week I am taking a group out to Turkey for a dance and wellbeing holiday. So we will have a pure week of movement, mindset shifting, meditation, fantastic food, hopefully great weather, and we will be able to be in that wellbeing bubble to really work in a what's the word I'm looking for? I was going to say confined, but that's not the right word. In a focused space without the distractions of life. So that is a real blessing, and shifts will happen. I've been running these holidays for 8-10 years, something like that. And I always find that body, mind, spirit and emotions step up a massive level from these holidays. So when I get back, I'm in a different place in myself, which is a nice starting point to keep things going. So things like that can really, really serve and help. But if you don't have access to that for whatever reason, time, finances, energy levels, you can still start to make those changes moment by moment and track them. And every day is a new day with new decisions. So here's to your health and well-being. Here's to making whatever tiny shift you can do today that you can build on tomorrow. And as always, if you want to work one-to-one with me, I've been working with people for over 20 years, helping them get comfortable in their bodies, enjoy being in their bodies, enjoy their lives. Get in touch. I'm not doing anything until May now. So yeah, have a good day. Bye.